right, hello third grade. Today we're going to be talking about the subjects in a sentence and whether they are singular or plural. So last week and Monday we talked about how to change a singular noun to a plural noun. So now we should be able to tell if something is singular or plural just by looking at it. Remember, for some plurals they end in S or ES. Some of them have to drop the Y and add an ES. And sometimes they just are the same words, right? Fish, plural, is fish. Sheep, plural, is sheep. And if we have mouse, we have to change it completely to mice. Remember, those ones we are just going to work on memorizing because they don't follow any rules. We just have to memorize them. So make sure we're still going back and reviewing them. But now we're just going to be able to read a sentence, and hopefully by looking at it, we can tell if it is singular or plural. And it's important that we get this down and we really understand it, because as we keep moving on in language arts, everything's going to be building right on each other. So it's going to keep building up. So if we master this, then when we talk about our language arts lesson tomorrow, it should be easier. So make sure to take your time and really read through the sentences. So let's go over real quick. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, and remember, if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, take it out to take notes, because remember, when we go to IXL, we want to have our notes with us, so that way we have something to look back to and we don't have to watch this video 10 different times. All right, so remember, singular subjects. The subject is who the sentence is about. So on my whiteboard, on my paper, this is where I would take my notes, I wrote subject equals who or what. That's what the subject of the sentence is. Who or what the sentence is about. So now if I have a singular subject, that means I'm only talking about one person, one place, one thing, one animal. Singular is one. But when I have a singular subject, my singular verbs are going to end in S, ES, or IES. So what I would do is write, if my subject is singular, all right, so instead of writing backwards on my whiteboard for notes, I decided I'm just going to write it up here. Made more sense, I'm sorry about that. But so up here I just wrote subject equals who or what the sentence is about. And then so if we have a singular, meaning one subject, the verb will end in S, ES, or IES. So if it helps to say singular, I'm going to add a 1 in parentheses so I know singular means one. So here would be an example. Sarah, that's one person, visits her grandmother. So because visits has to end in an S, ES, or IS, because Sarah is singular. We have a singular subject. That is who my sentence is about. Sarah, which is one person. So that means my verb ends in S, ES, or IES. So I go down to my second sentence. My cat washes her paws. So, who is this sentence about? I need to find who or what. It's about my cat. Now, that's just one cat, right? Because it doesn't end in S, ES, or IES, and it's not one of those irregular plural nouns that doesn't have a rule. It just means one. So that means my verb has to end in S, ES, or IES. And remember from before when we were doing our making singular nouns plural, if it ends in SH, you have to add an ES. So we still have to remember our rules. So also keep your notes from last week with you for this week. So now let's go with the plural subject. A plural subject means we're talking about more than one. So I'm going to add right here, parentheses, and I'm going to say +2. So it means more than one. So now if my subject is more than one, my verb does not end in S, ES, or IES. So let's go through some examples. So the first thing I need to do when I read my sentence is find the subject, who or what it is about. Kyle and Jesse walk home. So I'm going to ask the question, who or what is this sentence about? It's about Kyle and Jesse. Now, how many people is that? 2, right? So now I know it is plural. It's more than one, so it's plural. So remember, my verb does not have an ending. So walk. Kyle and Jesse walk home. Does not end in S, ES, or IES. So now let's go to our next example. The flowers grow in the garden. First thing I have to do is find my subject. Who or what grows in the garden? The flowers. Now, as I know from before, that has an S. So am I talking about one flower or more than one? I'm talking about more than one. I can tell it's plural from the ending. But that means my verb will not have an ending. So I'm just going to go with grow. So let's go through some examples on IXL. All right, so now when we look at some examples on IXL, this is what our homework's going to look like. Is the subject singular or plural? So the first thing I'm going to do is read my directions, look at the subject in bold. Is it singular or plural? So bold means it's just going to be a little thicker. It's not going to be as thin as everything else. Derek and I slide down the hill in our sled. Who is this sentence about? It's about Derek and I. So now that I know it's about 2 people, because they list 2 people, I know that has to be plural because singular is just one, but plural is more than one, 2 or more. All right, and we're going to go through one more example. Jaden, so the first thing I have to read my instructions. Look at the subject in bold. Is it singular or plural? Jaden makes apple bars for the bake sale. So who is this about? It's about Jaden. That's one person. So it would be singular. All right, and you can find this standard on your teacher suggested IXL standards. And have a good day. Thank you.